Hey everybody and welcome back to Split Couch Games. I'm Scott and I want to talk about how to not go on tilt while playing games. For those who don't know exactly what I'm talking about, being tilted generally means that when you're playing a game, you get upset and you start playing worse because of how upset you are. This is really going to be just a short video introducing some ideas of why people go on tilt and how I personally avoid it. Hopefully this helps you get started on figuring out how to avoid being tilted yourself. People go on tilt for various reasons, and nobody is completely immune. Some people go on tilt because they messed up, and thinking about messing up is distracting them, so they mess up again, and that just makes them tilt even harder. Or maybe their teammates are playing poorly and dragging them down. Maybe there's a particular game mechanic that really irritates them, and when it causes them to lose, it pisses them off even more. Or maybe a tilted player has something stressing them out in their non-gaming lives, and that stress is working its way into this activity that should be relatively stress-free. Whatever the case, being tilted is something we all want to avoid. I don't have all the answers, but I do know what's worked for me in the past. The thing that personally tilts me the most is when I'm playing poorly. Especially in a team game, I feel like I'm letting my teammates down when I mess up. And if I let that feeling go and not try to fix it, I will go on full tilt. But if I take a moment to settle down and just think about what I did wrong and what I could do better in the future, I'm able to work past it and not dwell on that mistake as I'm going through the rest of the game. And on the same note, if there's a game mechanic that really annoys me, I just kind of learn to avoid it or adopt a strategy that counters it in some way. Unfortunately, these annoyances that are game mechanics that we just don't like are part of every game that we play. Even though I love Gears of War, there's some mechanics in it, some weapons, some things that people can do that I just really don't enjoy. And I wish that they would be out of the game, but I love the game so much that I'm willing to change the way I play just a little bit to avoid those things. For instance, planted nades, I've learned to check corners where nades may or may not be planted, but I generally don't die to those anymore. So I've really been able to avoid that amount of frustration, and when they do end up killing me, it's so rare that I just kind of chalk it up to it's a one-time thing and I'm not overly concerned about it. And the factor of bad teammates is really a whole different struggle. Generally speaking, this is out of your control. You mostly have to suffer through whatever team you get in matchmaking sometimes, and that can feel really bad when you're playing well, but your team just is struggling and maybe doing something that you consider completely stupid. But there are actually some things that you can do to help. First of all, whatever you do, do not say anything mean to them. You can provide criticism, but it has to be constructive. Saying that they suck or that they should quit playing the game is really only going to make them play worse. And that's going to make you play worse because you're focused on what they're doing as opposed to working on your own game. In League of Legends, if I notice that a player is struggling, I'll just send them a quick message saying, don't worry about it, we'll get them next time. But next time, maybe try doing blank. And that's usually enough to get them back on track. Most players will know that they're doing something wrong, but if you've ever been tilted, you know that you're not always able to tell exactly what you've been doing wrong. So you need someone on the outside who's watching you to just kind of like nudge you in the right direction, get you back on track. The other thing you can do is if you really feel that you are a better player than your teammates, feel free to follow them around and help themselves basically. In Gears of War, if my teammates are struggling, a lot of the time I will go and I will follow them around so that if they get into a fight, I'm there helping them with either a Lancer or a shotgun or whatever the case may be. Again, your teammates are really out of your control. It's their choice whether or not they're going to improve after you do these things for them. But if you keep your teammates from being tilted, then you're less likely to get tilted because of what they do. Now, everyone does experience tilts in different ways, and these are really just examples of how I deal with it myself. I don't have enough time to really dig deep into how to fix all the different parts of being tilted, but if you have any questions for your particular situation or want me to go more in depth on this topic in future videos, feel free to ask in the comments. For now, really think about what tilts you and focus on things that you can control to avoid that feeling. That's it for this video. I hope to see you next time on Split Couch Games.